You ever notice that whenever there's a huge economic disaster, when most people are just trying to keep their heads above water, the wealthiest people on the planet somehow get even richer? It's this strange thing that just seems to happen again and again.
Yeah, if you've ever had that feeling, you are definitely not alone. I mean, think back to the 2008 financial crisis, or even what happened in 2020. We literally watched this massive transfer of wealth happen in real time. Billionaires were out there buying up everything for pennies on the dollar, while everyone else was just hoping to survive.
And this slide just lays it all out. It's two completely different realities playing out at the exact same time. For most people, a crisis means fear. It means losing your job. It means being forced to sell things at the absolute worst time. But for the wealthy, it's the complete opposite. It's an opportunity. It's a time to buy those exact same things at a massive discount and, well, grow their wealth even more. But here's the thing, and this is really important. This isn't about luck. It's not some grand conspiracy. The wealthy aren't just getting lucky breaks. No, they are following a very specific playbook. And the best part? It's a playbook that anyone, and I mean anyone, can learn from. Okay, let's dive into this. It really all starts right here, with a totally fundamental difference in how you see the world. It all comes down to how you view the whole idea of an economic crisis. So, for 99% of people, the second you hear the word recession, it triggers this immediate gut-level fear. Panic kicks in. The natural instinct is to just hunker down, stop all spending, and for sure stop investing. The entire goal just becomes survival. Just wait for the storm to pass. But the wealthy, they see something completely different. They don't see a crisis, they see a sale. Seriously, think about it like this. If your favorite store suddenly announced that everything was 70% off, you wouldn't run away, would you? No way. You'd be there when the doors open. A recession is pretty much the same thing, but it's for things like stocks and real estate.
So while most of the world is running for the hills, screaming about this huge economic sale, the whole game is this. The wealthy are running toward it while it's wide open, ready to scoop things up. And that mindset shift, that's the foundation for everything else they do.
So, what is actually in this playbook? Well, it really boils down to 5 core financial advantages that they work on building long before a crisis even shows up on the horizon. These 5 principles are, number 1, the crisis discount. Number 2, the liquidity advantage. Then you've got income insurance, the knowledge gap, and finally, the patience paradox. Let's break down exactly what each of these means. Okay, first up, the crisis discount. This is what happens when pure, widespread panic completely takes over and it makes people sell perfectly good assets for way, way less than they're actually worth. Fear just becomes more powerful than logic, and honestly, this creates the single biggest opportunity for wealth transfer in our economy.
I mean, just look at this incredible real-world example. After the dot-com bubble burst back in 2001, Amazon's stock absolutely cratered. It went from over $100 a share down to just $6. The company itself was still Amazon. It was still changing the world. But fear was completely in the driver's seat. The investors who understood the crisis discount and had the nerve to buy at $6, well, they made a fortune.
All right, so the second advantage is liquidity. And this is a simple one. It just means having cash on hand ready to go when everybody else is desperate and has to sell. So while some people are selling their investments at rock-bottom prices just to pay the bills, the investor with liquidity is on the other side of that deal, buying up great stuff on sale.
Number 3 is huge, income insurance. See, most people have just one source of income, their job. And if that goes away, it's instant panic. The wealthy, on the other hand, build multiple streams of income. We're talking rental income, stock dividends, profits from a business. So if one of those streams dries up during a recession, the others act as a cushion, which stops them from making those panicked bad decisions.
Advantage number 4 is the knowledge gap. And this one's a really big deal. It's about actually understanding how money works, how to read a financial statement, how to figure out what a company is really worth, and how to tell the difference between a temporary market dip and a business that's actually in trouble. During a crisis, this kind of knowledge is basically a superpower.
And finally, we have the patience paradox, and it's called a paradox for a reason. In a world that's obsessed with moving fast, the fastest way to build real, lasting wealth is often to be willing to wait a really long time. The wealthy can afford to buy an asset when it's cheap during a recession and just hold it for 5, 10, even 20 years, riding out all the ups and downs and capturing all of that long-term growth. Okay, so all that theory is great, right? But let's see how this playbook actually works in a real-life situation. Let's cook up a scenario with two investors. We'll call them David and Rachel. And they both start from the exact same place, right before a huge market crash.
So here's David. He goes all in on some hot tech stocks, no cash saved up. Rachel, on the other hand, she invests half her money but keeps the other half in cash. That's her liquidity advantage. She also has a small freelance business on the side. That's her income insurance. Now, when the market crashes, David panics. He has no cushion. He sells everything and locks in a massive permanent loss. But Rachel? She's calm. Her side income and her cash reserves mean she isn't desperate. So instead of selling, she uses her cash to buy even more stocks, now at bargain bin prices.
And here's the kicker. They started with the same amount of money. They went through the exact same crisis, but the outcomes were completely different. Why? Because Rachel had prepared using the principles from the playbook. She actually ended the recession wealthier than when she started. David was just left on the sidelines with a loss he could never get back.
Now, I know this might all sound like something that's only for the super rich, but it's really not. The real power here is knowing that you can start building this exact same playbook for yourself, and you can start right now.
You know, learning to see a market dip as an opportunity instead of a reason to panic, that's not a personality trait, it's a skill. It's just like learning to drive. It's terrifying at first, but after a while, with practice, it becomes second nature. The wealthy have just had a lot more practice.
And you can start practicing today. Seriously, start building an emergency fund. That's your liquidity. Start reading books or watching videos about basic investing. That closes the knowledge gap. Try to create even a tiny second income stream. That's your insurance. And just practice patience by making small investments that you can afford to hold on to no matter what. Every little step builds your foundation for the future.
Because look, make no mistake about it, the next recession is coming. It's never a question of if, it's always just a question of when. And when it gets here, wealth is once again going to move from the unprepared to the prepared. So the only real question left to ask is, which side of that transfer are you going to be on?